What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we're Purrely going up against Brandon on the right. We are going to be seeing Brandon win the die roll here, going to be able to choose to go first. I don't think it's going to matter to Purrely too much if they get to summon out a Noir. They can break a Brandon board quite easily. We are going to be seeing a normal summon of a Quem activating its effects, being able to send a copy of a Albion to the graveyard here, which is going to be able to be treated as a Fallen of Albaz in the grave, which can nonetheless activate the effect of Cartesia to summon herself out. We can then activate later on if we want to use the effect of the Albion the dump, but we are just going to go for Cartesia first, using the copy of the Mercurier for a copy of Granganol. A lot of lists are now playing 2 Mercuriers here, maybe bumping up the count to a little bit over 40. We're going to be seeing the Granganol dumping the copy of Sorenir. That's going to be able to dump the copy of Branded Fusion here. Then we're going to see Albion sending the copy of Retribution for cost to be able to put itself back to the bottom of the deck. Now, we're not going to get a draw because it's not in the hand, but we do have the copy of Retribution to add back that copy of Branded Fusion. We're then going to activate the effect, and we do have the Ash for it, but we have the Collar for the Ash. All that work to forget to a Branded Fusion, we're not letting that get negated. We're going to be seeing the Branded Fusion send an Albaz alongside a copy of most likely Lubellion here, so they can go for the copy of Lost and getting the Albion in the graveyard. Our graveyard is loaded up for Albion already, so we can banish most likely stuff for free. We have the Albaz, and then we can even banish a copy of Mercurier to get a search. If that card in the hand is not going to be too much of a problem. We do also have the Quem that can bring out the copy of Cartesia as well. So having lots of different options here, but they are thinking on this. So we're going to be seeing the Albion as well as the copy of the Quem, summon up the copy of Cartesia, and then we're going to be banishing the copy of Mercurier and the Albaz to go for either a Lubellion or a Rinbra. If our card in the hand that we do not care about to be discarded, which it looks like we do not care about, going for the Lubellion, going to be discarding the copy of Droplets, which isn't that good against the Purrely deck, obviously, being able to hit a copy of the Baby Noir or a Happy that's trying to essentially to break your board here, but we're going to be able to search for a copy of the Cartesia. Now we don't have really the add back, and we don't really have to. They're going to not search for it. I was going to say it's not the best search. We could search for an Albion as well if we're playing multiple copies of it. There's no really right option here unless you're playing like Spriggan's Kit. Or the Albaz if you want to discard it because you don't have a copy of Branded in red yet. We could go Cartesia itself during the opponent's turn, send the copy of Albaz to let's go for the Branded in red. But we would already have access to a copy of Sanctifier here with the Cartesia. But we're going to be putting back... That's interesting. Putting back the Granganol here for a Sanctifier, it looks like. And then we're going to be seeing the Lubellion tribute with the Albion for the copy of Lubellion, which can now place the copy of the Lost on the field. And then we're going to go end phase. Albion's going to be able to set a Branded in red. So maybe we don't play multiple copies of Granganol here. So making us kind of have to go to their second copy to get that accessibility to the Gimmick Puppet. We're going to be seeing Branded in red going to be set. And we do have the Dark Ruler in the hand here. Being able to play those board breakers helps Purrely out significantly. They're just going to drop it down during the main phase. Cartesia's only during the main phase. Definitely hurting the deck quite a bit here. Branded in red is still going to be an insane card. Lets them play through the stuff. Being able to go for a Mirror Jade or even just being able to use different things. We could have maybe seen a Branded in red chain the copy of Cartesia as well if we wanted to. But that would have made us not be able to pop anything with the Guardian Chimera. So trying to validate that pop, that definitely helps. But they're going to go summon up Purrely, and then we're going to be able to search for the My Friend or the Street. I wasn't too sure which one we have, but whatever one we did not have, we're adding to the hand. And then we're going to activate the My Friend, revealing 3 Happy, I believe. Happy is going to activate the effect. And we're going to protect here, and then we're going to go up into the copy of the Happiness. We then have Delicious as well, which they can chain. We probably should chain a copy of Red here, but they're going to let the Happy attach the copy of Delicious. And we already have the Yeep in the hand. They're going to go Battle Phase, attack. And that's going to let them search. I feel like I would have popped the stuff myself prior, before the Lily even got to activate. And they would have had Delicious still in the hand, which would have let them kind of play through things, but still, I wonder what we're trying to go for. We're going to see the Happy here, and they're going to chain the copy of Sanctifier, just so that they can't attach, essentially, which is quite nice. So we're going to be sending the Yeep to summon out a copy of Purrely. We just want to make sure that they do not attach things here. And then Purrely is going to hit, and we do see them hit a Sleepy. That is quite good for the Purrely player there. Going to be able to make up for a E-Noir. It's not going to do too much, unfortunately, but we are going to be able to see the Happy attack one more time here into the Sanctifier, halving its attack at the first time, letting it be able to be beat over. So just for another Happiness. But they do have the copy of the Red, which will be able to prevent the Happy once again from attaching. They're going to Happy, chain, and they're going to let that resolve. So it's going to be able to attack into Lubellion, letting it search once again here. I wonder what we're saving in Red for. Branded is one of those decks that it's super nice because so many people can play it so differently. And neither plays can be necessarily correct. There are definitely wrong plays, but depending on what your thought process is and what the other card that you have, it doesn't necessarily have to be wrong. We're going to see a Pretty going to be activated here. They're going to chain the Happy once again, and they go, oh, well, you already activated 3 times, but they didn't get to activate it because they couldn't attach, and that's going to let them attach. They both gain 1,000 life points as well, but that's going to set up the copy of Noir, essentially, and then they're going to go into an Anima to take that Lubellion, and then we're going to be able to send the Lubellion to take that copy of Branded in Red here. Now we can go up into a Giant Noir, and essentially we're going to be able to suck up other cards as well. They're going to send the copy of Anima to attach. Nothing was really sent to the graveyard this turn, so it doesn't really matter. They're going to attach the copy of Quem, just so they have essentially the control over the game. And at this point, we have just lost. Then, during the end phase, we're going to be seeing Streak and able to attach to Sleepy. They're going to get a +1 off this every single turn, and we're going to be facing down a Noir, unfortunately. Now, Mirror Jade does beat the Noir, but we don't really have access to it. We draw into a copy of Albion there for turn, so that will be quite nice for us being able to send stuff for cost and getting an additional draw, but will we be able to combat this is a question. Sending the Albaz. There might be a world where we play 2 Branded in Reds here as well, or even a Branded in White. I know some lists are playing that. We do see Cartesia being special summoned out. We did add that back to the hand during the end phase. We are going to attempt to activate the effect of Cartesia. They are going to be chaining the copy of Noir here twice. We're going to pick up Noir to read it. That card is insane, to be honest. And we just admit defeat there, realizing that we have just lost the game, I don't know if there's anything we would have done differently. Guardian Chimera, like, we couldn't gimmick Puppet for sure because we were on Dark Ruler. But I wonder if there was a world where, like, we gimmick, or we, Guardian Chimera there, pop, or even go for a Mirror Jade, and essentially get the Lili off the field before it gets to activate the effect. It says we can't target, but Mirror Jade doesn't target, so it kind of goes around that. I think that we definitely could have potentially done that a little bit better, even like during the battle phase. You see them attack, we just go, okay, they attack into it, and then they go like effect, we chain Mirror Jade so they can't attach, and then they have to go for like something else, and then you just have other plays to stop it. We would also have like follow up, being able to add. It's just like looking back, I guess it's always easier to tell what you could have done instead when you're not sitting in the driver's seat playing. So anyone watching the comments, don't no flame. But yeah, looking back at your duels is insane. I'm not the one playing, of course, but still being able to learn from from other people's matches is important as well. I feel like Purrely is a pretty easy matchup for the Branded deck. We're going to be seeing Branded dive on into Game 2, going first once again here. And we do see a Cosmic in the hand, getting rid of one of those My Friend Purrely's or a copy of Street. Both those cards are pretty dreadful. I think we see a Quem as well, being in normal summons. We are going to be seeing it in normal summons. Now, we do have a Branded Fusion in the hand here, so we won't have to jump through all those hoops to get that Branded Fusion to hopefully resolve. But to get, I guess, just stay into that Branded Fusion. Well, we're going to have a Retribution here. And we have a Cartesia as well. High Spirit will activate, revealing the Albaz, sending a copy of Albion to the grave. I'm assuming it's going to be Albion. It can be a bunch of different stuff as well. Even a copy of Titaniclad if we wanted to, but we already have the Quem, therefore it's most likely not going to be the play. Sending the Albion there, as well as the Albaz, to get the Albion to our hand. We also have the Cartesia, which is going to be able to summon itself out with that copy of Albaz now in the graveyard. High Spirits is definitely an insane card. We're going to activate the Albion, sending a copy of the Branded Fusion now to be able to draw one. We may actually not even have... We didn't have Branded Fusion in the hand. I was seeing a different card with the hand flickering. Okay. My bad. We see Cartesia being summoned out here. Then we're going to activate the effect of Branded Fusion, sending the Albaz and a Lubellion. So we summon with the Cartesia first because this is going to allow us to dodge like imperms and stuff like that, which is going to be pretty impactful. We are thinking on this. We definitely probably send the Albaz alongside of the Lubellion here to go for a copy of Albion. And they are thinking on this. We're going to be seeing like a Veiler being hit. It's not even that bad if we do hit it. We're going to be banishing the copy of Albion with the Albaz. So getting us to burn through one of our Albions already. We're going to go for a Mirror Jade, then we're going to go for the Albion, send itself for the Lubellion, and then Lubellion's going to activate its effects to place the Lost on the field, letting us essentially get a Mercurial Surge as well as a Gimmick Puppet protection, because we're going to be able to essentially, during the standby phase of our opponent's turn, before they can activate Dart Ruler or anything like that, just Gimmick Puppet them, and now they could chain the copy of the Purrely Quick Play spells to our Branded in red, but it's unfortunately just not going to do anything for them. Being able to summon a copy of Pure Lily or a copy of Purrely isn't going to do very much. We're going to be seeing them go with the Cartesia into that copy of Dragonol, like I mentioned earlier, and we're going to be sending the Gimmick Puppet as well as search for Mercurial, because we already activated the effect of Albion in our hand this turn. So just going to be able to protection with that. If they had a copy of Abyssal or something like that, important that we keep it in their hand. So we see a set 2, and then also during the end phase, Albion's going to be seeing that copy of Branded in red. And the game has essentially been sealed for us. Still having the Mirror Jade as well. So during the standby phase, we're going to be seeing the effect of the Branded Red. Target the Albaz. And then we're going to be using the Granganol as well as the Albaz here to go up into that copy of the Gimmick Puppet. Or the Sanctifier here. Sanctifier on the summon is going to then Gimmick Puppet our opponent by giving them the copy of the Gimmick Puppet as well as us, the Cartesia. And the game has just been admitted defeat. So we're going to be moving on to game 3 with the Purrely player choosing who's going to go first here. Going to have essentially a very strong board. If we can set up a copy of a 5-mat Noir, it's going to be quite difficult for them to gain any traction here, especially if they play like cards like Dimension Fusion, which we know that Alex is notorious for playing. It could be quite difficult for the Branded player to kind of play through this. But we're just siding here. I wonder if I should cut out the feed when I side. It's always like a little bit weird just listening or sitting here while people side. But we do see the Dimension Fusion being added to the deck. The Dark Ruler No More is being taken out of the deck. I'm assuming the Forbidden Droplets are being put in on the side of the Branded player. We see a Cosmic, I think, being taken out of the deck. And as well as Evenly Matches being put in. Interesting choice, but we're going to be shuffling it up with a pile shuffle on the Purrely player side. Now, I want to know what you guys think of pile shuffling. I know in the Magic community, a lot of players are saying that it's not random and that it is actually just cheating. A lot of players are like trying to say, "Oh, you should not play. You should not be doing pile shuffling. It's not truly random." But at this point, you also cut your opponent's deck, so it is like kind of random at that point. We do see Dimension Fusion being activated right off the bat. Or I guess say the Di-Fi. And then we're going to activate a card, Prod of Prosperity here. So making it essentially that we not be able to get drolled. And droll is very relevant in this format as well, I should mention. So being able to play kind of through that and being able to search off Prosperity. We see a Jerusalem Street, Call with the Grave, Purrely, as well as the Prosperity. And I think another Purrely quick play spell. We're going to be adding the Purrely here, and we're going to normal summon it, activating the effect, and we hopefully hit a copy of the Beauty. Quite nice for us. We do have the Yeep in the hand already, as well as 2 Ashes, so our board's not going to be that crazy. We're going to be activating the effect of the Beauty, sending the Ash. We both gain 1,000 life points, summoning out the copy of Purrely. Purrely is going to be able to activate the effect, searching for the copy of My Friend, because we do not have any access to any other ones. We're going to be activating My Friend, and unfortunately we can't reveal 3 Sleep because it is at 2, but adding Delicious could also be another option to this. Now, it's not going to be that good going for a Plump, but no matter what, we are still going to be able to have a copy of the Noir as well as a copy of Beauty, and hopefully we hit that copy of Sleepy there. We're going to be seeing the Purrely going up for the copy of the Beauty, and we do hit that copy of Sleepy, letting us go for the E-Noir here, letting us essentially have another draw. We're going to be setting that trap, which is getting an additional draw here and just passing turn on this. So we have Ash Blossom, a Veiler, as well as a +2 and a copy of the Noir. It is going to be affected by cards because, it is under 5 material, but still quite a nice card there as well. We're going to activate the effect of the Noir to potentially draw 1 more card, and our opponent is thinking on this. Now, they have potentially a copy of Imperm or something like that. They have a Droplets in the hand, which we are going to be able to see there. They're not going to be able to send any of their monsters, so they won't be able to negate both of them unless they have 2 spells. Now, looking at their hand, they do have 3 green, 3 monster cards, but will they choose to send, if one of them is Branded Fusion, I can't see them sending that for just stopping a Veiler. They're going to read My Friend to see what happens when one of them is destroyed. But we are going to chain the Droplet, sending the Branded in red here to negate the Noir, which is going to stop that draw as well as the shuffle back here. We then see a Fusion Deployment as well. Yeah, you definitely can't get rid of that one here. Scott's going to be able to summon out a copy of Cartesia from the deck. Albaz, unfortunately, is not going to be the best target to summon. But they are thinking about it. If you do summon with the Albaz, it's going to get hit with a copy of the Beauty essentially right away, making you go -1 on card advantage unless you have like a Cartesia in the hand, which I don't believe they do. I think I saw a copy of the Aluber there. So I'm going to go for a Cartesia, which is going to kind of let us play through that Beauty. If they do have like another Veiler in the hand. But we know they have an Ash Blossom, which are going to be a normal summoning with the copy of the Aluber here. Now, we're definitely not Beauty negating this because they do have the Cartesia, and we shouldn't Ash this because we know if they have a Branded Fusion in the hand, we're essentially going to be minusing 1. And it also doesn't matter if they search for a loss, it's not going to prevent anything. But we are going to be seeing a search for that Branded Fusion. They're going to activate Branded Fusion, and we are surely going to be seeing the Ash smash down real quick. Now, the Aluber will be able to attack over the copy of Beauty here. We are going to be chaining the Beauty to negate that copy of the Cartesia there in the battle phase. We're then going to be able to add back the copy of the Pretty off the My Friend. But we don't really have anything else to kind of do here on the Branded player's side. As well as like once we pass turn, our opponent's going to be able to just go draw phase or standby phase, shuffle back that copy of Cartesia, so we won't be able to even get to the main phase to fuse it off. So they're just going to pass turn on this, and we are going to be seeing that exact thing. Going to be able to shuffle them back to, or shuffle back that copy of Cartesia. And then we're going to place the Street onto the field here, as well as activate My Friend, hitting the 2 happy and a delicious, or a delicious, and a happy, okay. And we're going to be hitting the happy, I believe. We're going to be seeing happy discard the copy of Call by the Grave, because we're definitely not going to be needing that. No monster is going to be touching the grave from our opponent at this game. We're going to go for the copy of the Purrely here, which can then let us search for the copy of Purrely, hoping to hit. Once again, we're going to be seeing the Purrely going to be hit, and we hit a Street, which is going to be unfortunately another discard target for them. You know, at least not whiffing. We do enjoy going +1. We're going to be seeing the Lily go up into the Happiness here. Now, Happiness does have to attack monsters, so it can't just continue attacking, unfortunately. So not being able to go for the OTK, but we do attack for 2,000 or for 200 here, and then we attack with a copy of Purrely as well as the Noir. Dealing some damage, you know, is better than 0. We're then going to go up into a Plump with the copy of the Purrely. And then we're going to be able to attach the Branded Fusion alongside the copy of Sleepy. That Aluber is banished, and then we're going to be activating the effect of the Beauty to just essentially attach into the Plump, and we gain 1,000 each. But then let's go for a Noir once again here, being able to spin back multiple cards, and we're going to go Street effect, going to be able to attach during the end phase here, attaching the copy of Sleepy, letting us draw 2 more cards here during their opponent's standby phase. And then we're going to be seeing the Yeep just bounce back that Noir because of its own effect there. We're normal set the Albaz, act from the effect, sending the copy of Cartesia here, and they're going to be Noir, putting that back. We're then going to activate a copy of Talents here, drawing 2 more cards, and they draw into an Albaz as well as an Ash. I'm just going to scoop it up right there, realizing the game is going to be gone. We give back our Branded Fusion, and that's just going to be the game 3. We see Purrely take the win here with the copy of Noir. That card's absolutely crazy, as well as a Dimension Fusion just taking the game right away from us, being not able to essentially negate that copy of Beauty as well. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.